Well, hello there, everybody. Trey here, and welcome back to the game where I play with lots of balls. We're going to be playing some more Marble World today, and I am super excited for this episode because, well, there's something new at the end of my course, as you can see. So I had an idea. My buddy Scrapman has been playing this game as well, and he is one of the better builders that I know, so I thought I'd reach out and see if he wants to build a massive course together. And he was totally down to do it, and that is what this is right here. So what we're going to be doing is building a massive course, each doing our own unique obstacle, adding to the end of it. So if you remember, we ended off going into the donut. That's been now deleted because, well, that would be the end totally. And that's not the point. And he has added whatever this is. I actually haven't watched this video, but I can kind of get a good idea of what's going on here, and I'm really excited to test it out. But yeah, we're going to continue to build this course if you guys do enjoy this. And yeah, if you want to see his build phase of this piece, you can check the link in the video description to go to his episode. So let's test it out. Let's see if everything is working as intended. And we'll go from there with a new build at the end of this phase. So I'm sure you guys have all seen this before. I did add a few things to hopefully stop the leakage of balls that this part was having. So I added a little wall here. We're still going to get a few marbles that are not going down perfectly, but overall, as you can tell by the floor, it's a lot more stable now, and I added just some more designs over here and whatnot. If you did miss this part, I go more into detail on the episode that I did about it. Feel free to check that out in the links in the video description as well. But this is what I'm curious about. This design here alone is really smart because if you remember, they all went to the side here. That way we can get into the donut more often. He's made it so they spread out going down these pathways here, reaching the bottom here into a boost pad that goes into this thing. That is absolutely fantastic. I honestly thought this boost would go a little bit further, but no, it looks like they all go in there, and yeah, his is working perfectly. It puts mine to shame because I do have a little bit of leakages, so I think I'll fix mine a little bit at the start and then go from there. But that is so cool. So now I got to decide what on earth do I want to do from here. Okay, the first thing I wanted to do was clean up the track. Again, mine was a little leaky, so now we have hopefully all the things addressed. We're gonna do one quick test run here. All I really did was basically box this in because when these things fall down, sometimes they fall in an angle and fall right out of the track. I also added some fixes to the track because sometimes they would leak out. I'm hoping this should be fixed. Everything else has been pretty good. And I also added one more row up here, so hopefully none can get high enough. I might even need to add an extra layer of these things, but honestly, I mean, we're always going to get a few balls lost. This is looking way better. I also added these wall things here. And, well, that's a problem now, isn't it? This is why you test things. The building has definitely been improved. You can see there's some new buttons now, making building way easier, which is nice to see. And we have our first casualty. Where did that even come from? All right, well, I'm going to accept one. One will always happen. It's looking like it's a hell of a lot more stable, though, now. So I'm happy with that. I'll keep an eye where this thing came from and go from there. I think I just saw another one fall. Where the heck? Okay, it's got to be one of these things. These things have always given me problems, so I'll try my best to fix it. But we actually got to get building today as well. This thing's never going to be totally perfect. Oh, my God. This is so cool. This thing is a work of art. Oh, he had one fall off too. Okay, so I don't feel bad anymore. One went over, so that's fine. Overall, this course is a hell of a lot better. So now I got to figure out how I got to keep these things stable. Unfortunately, they come out, as you can see, kind of all directions. So I'm going to have to funnel them in somehow or just have something big down here. I don't want to build too big, though. Again, the whole goal is to have a massive course, and we only have a living room to work with. So here's my idea. We're just going to go right to it. I'm designing this on the ground because it's easier to keep this nice and flat and hopefully perfect, because sometimes there's these lips when you're not building track pieces, and I'm really worried that's going to happen. But what I'm going to do, hopefully by the end of this, is build a massive skee ball jump. Now, if you don't know what Skee Ball is, it's an arcade game that's kind of like bowling, except you got to aim for these holes. The holes dictate how many points you're going to get. Obviously, we're not playing for points in this marble world. So, obviously, the better the hole, the shorter the course that's going to happen after this Skee Ball run. So, that's the goal. We'll see what happens here. Okay, I think that's straight. I'm eyeballing it, which is never safe, but Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. Just want to even out the sides a little bit. Make sure, you know, the runway's kind of even. That looks really good right there. Okay, it actually looks like a skee ball runway too, obviously, when we paint it. So that's pretty exciting. We'll just make sure this is nice and even as well, so it's visually pleasing. And we can delete this final piece. Let's just test it out to make sure, you know, nothing crazy is going on. A nice random spawning too. So I was worried they'd all go down the middle, but no, it looks like I don't have to add anything to make sure these things go all about this course. Obviously not picking up too much speed, but we have a new block to deal with that, which he used right here. Okay, testing it. Oh no, that was my worry. What? Dude, they're so perfectly on the ground. I'm gonna have to obviously make them go down a bit more. It's kind of funny how they bounce around, but that's obviously not the goal. Unfortunately, that's like as low as they go. So is there always gonna be a bounce? Let's try that. I wonder if their boost will still work if I put them in the ground. Because yeah, as you can see, we're getting this weird bounce now. That's a huge bummer. So what happens if I do that? They're still bouncing. Why? They're even worse. I have not played with the boosters at all. I just assumed they'd be perfectly flat. This is a little bit of an issue. Now, if we take these away, is it maybe something I added for some reason? No, as you can see, I mean, they're still a little bouncy. Maybe it's the speed. The unfortunate part is when you're not using the tracks, these look perfect. They are perfect because I built them on the flat ground, but there's still a little bit of a bump, and I think that's what's affecting it. Not so much the boosters, but the imperfections in the wood. I can't fix that. All right, I think I'm gonna have to accept defeat that I'm not gonna get the perfect smooth runway. So what I did was manually drop all of these by like a millimeter, as you can see. That way, I was hoping the hop would stop because it would just fall from one to another and it wouldn't be an actual gap, maybe giving it a little bit of a bump. Problem is, in my testing, it might actually be worse because, yeah, as you can see, it doesn't even make sense to me. Like, it shouldn't be bouncing upwards. These are all going slightly down. I mean, it's like a millimeter, but it should be enough to keep these things straight. Maybe I should just have them dropping off. I honestly don't know. That or just accept the fact that some are going to bounce, and we'll have to build around that. So I think we'll just do it that way. We might have to have bigger walls is all. Okay, so to keep the speed down up above, because then they would just go flying everywhere, I decided to add all the speed right at the bottom, and that might even be too fast. This is actually insane. So this gets me kind of excited, though. They're all clearly getting launched because they're going slow enough to hit this giant boost pad. And then obviously we can just customize the boost speeds to reach whatever kind of target we want to put at the end here. One thing I didn't consider is Skee Ball kind of has an abrupt jump at the end, so they don't launch too far. The way I've usually done jumps is the same as up here, where it's a straight piece just slowly rotated. I want a much shorter jump, so I'm thinking maybe utilizing some of the curved pieces for that. I don't think there's anything else I can really do besides just angle a straight piece. This might actually, ooh, that might be good. Problem is, it might be too much of an incline. All right, first test, and yeah, they're going, it's like popcorn. They're going straight up. But if we angle this slightly, it's looking good. Obviously, we don't want them getting stuck here or anything like that. At least they're getting enough speed. This should be enough for a skee ball run. That's looking doable. Oh, I love that they're going all over the place. That's actually what I wanted. Some are launching way further than others. Because if you've ever played Skee Ball before, you know there's a backboard where it catches all of them, and we want it to be random. What I have to worry about is ones getting stuck on the actual jump like that one. Okay, so I dropped the boost by about half. That's looking really good. I added a bunch of layers here, so hopefully none get stuck. I had it at 20 and it was actually hitting Scrap's design. So that's a little bit too high. I obviously don't want to build up here because that would be getting in his way. So I'm happy with that. It seems to fix the issue of some getting stuck down here with these extra ones. Now we just gotta build the actual skee ball score part. Man, building things on 45-degree angles is not fun. Oh god, this is slightly off center. It's gonna forever bother me if I don't fix it. So I think this side just needs to be dropped down a little bit. Actually, it might be perfect. It's just, it doesn't look it for some reason for me. Anyways, if we pull this up a bit, it should be more or less good. Yeah, I'll take that. It's hard to make a perfect circle when you're not doing the top anyways. But yeah, we have the basics set up, and I must say it's looking exactly as I hoped. So obviously these tubes are where you want to go. There's also usually tubes at the top right and left that are the hardest to get in the real Skee Ball. I don't know if I'll add that or not. I don't want to go too crazy because designing on a 45-degree angle is a little bit of a nightmare. I haven't actually tested it out though. Let's make sure that these things can actually reach. Okay, a little low. We might need to boost it a little bit. That being said, I don't want too many to get into the top one. We just had watermelon going and I saw it, so I think this is actually good. I don't think I need to change it at all. Okay, I think I officially have the outside done, and it actually kind of looks like one. I mean, it's not perfect, but god damn it, if you saw this, I bet you would assume it's Skee Ball, and that was the whole goal here. And we have different areas that we can go down, and I now have an idea of what I want to do next for these areas to give the benefit to obviously the 3 white tubes. The higher the tube, the higher the score, I believe it was. Yeah, I believe the top one was a 50. Okay, and we're just putting the finishing touches on the actual board itself, and I gotta say, I'm so happy with how it came out. I honestly went into this not really having a plan. I didn't even know if I'd be able to actually do a Skee Ball jump, but it's looking pretty good. And we have 5 exit points, so I'll show you them in a second here once I just finish up the final little bit of painting. And I think that's everything. There we go. So yeah, we have obviously the middle 3, and then all the balls in this one will go down to here, and then all the balls at the outside will go down into this reservoir, and then we're gonna bring them out. And I think what we'll possibly do is do another ladder kind of like this one upwards, but each one of these tubes gets a little bit of a head start. Okay, and after a lot of confusion, I think I got something going on here. So this was my plan. Obviously, I'm still working at the ends here. I just wanted to make sure everything was kind of aligned and more or less good. The hardest thing was designing something to catch all the ones at the bottom. All right, so let's see how this does. Again, I just want to watch this. We're gonna have some bouncing around. I might add some extra walls here to make sure almost all of them get caught in. What I'm curious about... Oh, wow, they are really flying out of here. I might need to add some walls to the bottoms here. That's okay, though. We do have marbles falling off. See, that's what I was worried about. So this one's a little too far, so simple fix. We just pull this out until they stop pulling off. Interesting. Is it because I didn't let it go? Yes, okay. Well, that's kind of annoying. We're just gonna have to make sure we let go of the piece. Okay, it's looking good. Now, they do fight to get on, but I kind of like that because obviously the more it fills up, the harder it is to get a spot. The top should have the easiest time. It's looking like I might want to pull this back just a little bit. But overall, it's not pushing them off anymore, and the ones at the top are getting the head start. Perfect. So now what I think I'm going to do is just increase this wall by 1 or 2 to make sure any ones that get really launched don't go too far. All right, it's kind of lame because we're not going to see the majority of this back part, but I'd rather keep my balls on the track than have something that's more visually pleasing. Obviously, we'll paint this later. I just wanted to get this done. And there we go. So yeah, the whole bottoms are basically enclosed, as you can see, but it's nice and straight. It should keep these things in. And just putting the final touches on the course. I added a wall here because through my testing, once again, we were getting some shooting at the sides like crazed maniacs. Still might get some bouncing out after they land in here. I can't really do much about that. I mean, I am not a physics master, but I think we are ready to go. So yeah, I just have a basic ending here. I'm more curious to see how many actually make it to the end than anything else. So in a perfect world, we're going to spawn 360, and 360 do fit up here. I doubt we're going to get all 360, but it should be pretty good. I optimized the old parts of the track in this episode too, so I'm hoping we don't get too many stuck. But yeah, put your guesses in the comments below. Who's going to win this time? My money is on watermelon once again. I don't know why I vote for watermelon every time. I have tried and it's never actually gotten anywhere near close, but I guess I can dream. Oh my god, I love the look of this though. So it's looking like none are getting stuck in here now. I have to stop looking though. I'm always looking at how to optimize the track. Overall, who do we have in first right now? Purple coming out ahead. I'm not seeing any falling off. Okay, I'll stop. I swear. Let's focus on it. Purple is going to get ahead. Never mind. It missed the shortcut. Is anybody going to get on the bounce pad and get ahead? Yellow. Oh, just missing it. We still got chances here. Come on, somebody. Oh, it's looking like the slow and steady wins this race. None on the bounce pad actually made it up, at least for the head start here. This is a close race at the top, though. bunch of different colors. It looks like we did have 2 fall off over here somewhere, so I'm gonna have to analyze that later. We had another one fall off. Damn it, that's 3 now. That's okay. I will improve it over time. I promise you that. I'm more invested into this race right now because this is close. We got a bunch of different colors going through. Into Scrap's design now. I love this thing, the way it spreads these things out, and he really is good at designing some awesome looking tracks. We have some figure 8 areas in the middle here as well. Looks like purple is ahead now. That doesn't matter though, because it all comes down to who can get into the 50-pointer here, if anybody can. It's looking like pink almost making it to the bottom. All right, who is it gonna be? Because they have a long ways to go if they do miss their shots. It looks like pink is ahead right now, but if somebody can get in this one, and indeed Lava did, just gotta get in there. There we go. It's looking like Lava is the winner. I'm so happy with the design. It's so good. Let's just make sure Lava is indeed victorious, unless it somehow falls off. We had one going off the track there, and there we go. Lava is first place. All right, let's watch the rest though. Make sure none are bouncing off like crazy. This works so well. I'm so happy with this design. Looks like I do need to work on the jump pad here. It doesn't give enough boost to go up, so I might add one more here. So yeah, I'm learning as we go here. It's too bad I couldn't make this go a little bit faster, but if I put it on any more of an angle, they would bounce around like crazy. So that's why it's a little bit slow. Okay, there we go. So it's looking like that is kind of what I needed. One went over, and I'm assuming once these things have enough momentum, we should be good. That's a good amount that made it to the end, so I'm happy with that. We have a few leakages to work on, but overall, I think it's pretty good. I want to do one more test here just to make sure that adding that extra boost pad didn't screw it up or anything, and it's looking like, yeah, trajectory's still perfect. If anything, it could go a little bit faster, and I might tune it to do that, but again, I like the idea of not having too many getting into the big 50. So yeah, guys, I think on that, we're going to wrap up this episode here. That was 4 hours well spent. I absolutely love everything about this game. We're still having some issues here, so I still have to do a little bit of work, but I will figure it out. I promise you that. I'm actually going to delete that and go back to the drawing board because I don't think that helped at all. So we just might have to figure out a way to get this better. But yeah, if you did miss Scrap's episode on this build, be sure to check it out. I'll have a link in the description, like I said, and keep an eye out for his addition to this track in the very near future. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, thanks for watching and liking, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.